Hey everyone, Jay Cottrell here with LPT Realty in the Tri-Cities, and you guessed it, it's Monday, which means it's time for another edition of Real Estate Talk with Jay. And today's topic is more of a continuation of last week's topic about property assessments here in Tennessee. So if you didn't watch that video, I'll put a link to it at the end of this video because most of us here in Washington County got our reassessment notices, and several people, their brains just exploded by how much more the county thought their home was worth. Um, but as I explained last week, that does not necessarily mean your property taxes are going up by that same amount. As the assessment went up, then our property tax rates will go down to sort of balance that out. But anyways, you can watch that video to find more about that. However, if you still feel that your home was overvalued and you would like to fight the county on that value, then allow me to offer to do a free CMA for you. It's comparative market analysis that will so that you can have some data to back up your claim, because because thinking something is real and it being real are not the same thing, right? So what I would ask you to do, contact me. I will do a market analysis on your home. I will give you an opinion on what I think the current value of your home is if I were going to list it today. And that'll give you something to compare what the county thinks your home is worth. And so if it comes out less, then definitely take that information to the county and see if you can get your assessment lowered. If it comes out more, than just say thank you to the county and move on. Because keep in mind, on average, values in our area have increased almost 60% from 2019. So yes, that's the crazy amount. And a lot of us hear that number, but until we actually see it in person, we don't really comprehend it. So again, allow me to do that for you if you're thinking of contesting the value of your home with the property assessor. The only thing I will ask is, if you do contact me, don't tell me what the county assessed your home at. I want to do a free, unbiased opinion on what I think your home is worth so that you can then compare my opinion. And again, I'm a certified pricing strategy advisor with what the property assessor says. So you'll have a completely unbiased opinion. And if it's lower, you'll have the data to be able to take them and fight them on that value. So allow me to do that for you. Couple things that I want to go over also, just about some of the weekly statistics and what's happened over the past week. So let's take a look at those real quick. One is, let's take a look at the current number of active listings real quick. I added trend lines to these graphs I'm going to show you so you can kind of get the overall feeling of where the market is. So you can see that we are making up ground on inventory, but at a much slower pace than it dropped at the beginning of this year. So it is good news, but it's not, I wouldn't say great news. So we are adding inventory. We're not losing inventory at this moment, but it's definitely at a slower pace than it first decreased at the beginning of this year. Now let's take a look at um, pricing. So if you look at the current list price, you can see that while those prices are going up, the slope of that trend line is very, very, very low. So it's not steep. They're not climbing at a huge pace. You can see it's a very moderate and slow trend line. So while prices are going up, they're not skyrocketing like they have in previous years. Which, when we look at sales prices, you can see pretty much the same thing. While those trend lines are moving up, they're only moving up ever so slightly, which is more of what we're used to here. So prior to 2020 and all the pandemic housing craziness, we were used to much slower, more moderate home price appreciation in our area, not the 60% since 2019 that we're used to, but much more of this 1, 5, 6, 7, 8% per year, which it seems to be right about where we're trending right now, at least on this weekly data. The monthly data shows us a little bit bigger picture, which we're almost here to the end of April. So I'll get that video out as well. That'll be just specifically a data video for you. So that's what I wanted to go over as far as the data this week. Again, I'm making these videos a little bit more about topics of interest to you than necessarily data, but I did want to point, I did want to point out that trend to you this week. So I hope you found that information useful. Again, if you really want to get an expert and non-biased opinion on the value of your home, just reach out. I'll be glad to do that for you. If not, then that's it for this week. We will see you next week.